I know, not another super expensive transmitter review. I know those videos get boring real quick, but hear me out because I'm about to switch all of my favorite RC trucks to this transmitter. This is the RadioLink RC8X. It's not new, it has been around for a while, but it still seems to be a good solid option if you have many different RC cars with separate transmitters and you don't want to be carrying them all around. It's much easier to carry one transmitter instead of carrying loads of different ones around. And if you have lots of different RC cars, something like this would be perfect. So no more of this, only this. So let's get this bad boy switched on. When you switch it on, you can see that gorgeous looking 4.3-inch IPS touchscreen. It's like having a phone on top of your transmitter. And just look at how much detail you get on that screen. You can also set up telemetry on this. Now looking at this, well obviously this thing has a ton of different features, and I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to use most of them. Now one of the main features is the 200 model memory, and if you're looking for customization, this thing has a ton of it. You can adjust the theme settings and you can change around all the colors. This also has voice prompts and you can even set up your own. Another really cool feature is this will support a lot of the old RadioLink receivers, such as the ones that I'm putting on the screen now. The best thing about this is those RadioLink receivers are actually pretty cheap. Whether or not you go for the gyro one is up to you, and that's only a little bit more expensive. Especially for us here in the UK, prices are actually very reasonable. Obviously in the box you do get two receivers. One of them has telemetry and a gyro built in. The other one is kind of like a micro receiver, which is perfect for, I don't know, something like a mini crawler. There's no AA batteries to worry about with this one because they do include a 1700 milliamp hour LiPo. Now this transmitter is full of cool functions. You can even flip the wheel over to the other side if you're left-handed. Now the RC8X is an 8-channel transmitter, but it also features FPV functionality. Now unfortunately I don't have the FPV gear to actually test this function out, but I know someone that has.
And just like that, we can see through the camera. Pretty neat. Hi, I'm Phil. Welcome to Poor Boys RC. It says in the manual that it's 120 degrees, but it's got that real fisheye feel, almost more like a 180. Guys, look at this. It works. That is super duper cool.
So let's just toot around the house with the Hornet Evo and see how that looks. See, I'm picking up a bit of interference, and I bet you that's from the camera being so close. Oh yeah, hey, we're cleaning and filming. Wife's gonna be so proud of me when she comes home.
How cool was that? Don't forget to subscribe to Poor Boys RC. I love how simple the user interface is on this transmitter, and compared to some of the other transmitters that I've used in the past, I definitely feel like it's the most user-friendly. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say it's too expensive, it's not worth the money. There are so many other transmitters out there that are going to do exactly the same job. And yes, I do agree to a certain extent, but what I will say is the quality with this one is top notch. Not only that, but that screen really makes life easy when it comes to setting up your models. And if you're into the budget end of the hobby and you primarily purchase budget RC cars, of course this probably isn't going to be for you. I would say this is for people who have maybe quite a few sort of higher end models who are looking for the very best performance when it comes to transmitter choice. This thing has far too many features for me to try and cover in a short video. If you want to check it out in more detail, I will leave a link down below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Do you think it's too expensive, or do you think it's one of the best solutions for people out there who are looking for one transmitter to control all of their RC cars? Now we're going to give this a quick test today using my Typhon version 5, and yes, I do still own it. I haven't sold it, I haven't got rid of it. I still have my Typhon. I haven't done a lot with it, but it's still one of my favorite RC cars that I currently own. And of course it had to be one of the first I move over to the RC8X. So let's give this a go. Now I've got the gyro set up and working. I've got it set to around 50%, so that should give us some decent stability control. It's been a while since I've tested out the Typhon 6S. I've got a big old pinion gear in there. I can't remember what one it is. It's been a while since I run this, but I am running on 6S. Just checking to make sure it's clear. This thing is a rocket ship. Can't remember what pinion I'm running, but I'm pretty sure it's a big one. Yeah, that gyro is definitely helping to keep this thing in a straight line because it's very slippery today. There was a point where I was going to try and get this thing up to 100 miles per hour plus, but then I kind of gave up on it. I'm not sure why, I can't remember. I can't even remember what it does on 6S on its current setup. Right, let's stop and read. So 65 miles per hour. I thought it was actually quicker than that, but 65 still not bad. The Typhon version 5 is very special actually. It's one of my favourite buggies of all time. So there we go then guys, that was the RadioLink RC8X, a very good high quality transmitter and a perfect solution if you own many RC cars and you don't want to be carrying around lots of different transmitters, you just want to carry around the one and you want to do it in style. Well, this thing may be the best option. Now, loads of people are going to say it's too expensive and it's not worth the money, but look, the RC hobby is an expensive hobby, especially when you start looking at the higher end products. Now, in every hobby, there's going to be the lower end stuff, and of course, there's going to be the higher end stuff. We see this with RC cars as well. For example, you can't compare a Traxxas X-Max to a Hiboxin 16889 or an FTX Tracer. It's exactly the same with transmitters. There are many different options out there. You've got the lower end stuff like the Dumbo RC stuff, and then of course you've got the higher end stuff, exactly like the transmitter we've been looking at today. So whilst I fully appreciate that this is way out of budget for a lot of people, for the people out there who can afford something like this, again, I do think it's a good solution. It's definitely a good solution for me, and I'm going to be converting over most of my favourite RC trucks to this transmitter. It's just so much nicer carrying around one compared to carrying around loads. Now let me know in the comments section what you think of today's video. Do you think this thing is worth the money? And if not, why don't you think it's worth the money? Like I said, there's two ends to the hobby. There's the lower end stuff and the higher end stuff. This, of course, fits into the higher end. I know I do a lot of budget inspired stuff on my channel. Most of my reviews are about budget RC cars. And sometimes when I take a look at a high end expensive product like this, it does shock a few people. But look, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Cheers for watching. See you on the next one. Take care.